some random act of violence. This was a ritual.
2023 is set to go down as an all-time great when it comes to the most memorable years in gaming. This year has delivered a seemingly endless line of AAA blockbusters and smaller games with impressive ideas at their core. Now these are my top 20 video games of 2023.
The parasites are merely a symptom of a greater sickness in Faerun. The infected hear the voice of the Absolute and believe it to be a god.
First up, we have Baldur's Gate 3. Some of the most ambitious games around boast of giving their players an unparalleled level of freedom. But Baldur's Gate 3 rolls a D20 on that concept and scores a critical hit with its execution.
Verse itself.
How would you feel about helping me kill some evil bastards?
It's that focused approach to giving players the tools they need to be the best adventurer that they can be, along with a memorable cast of characters, unique playthroughs, fantastic combat, and at least one instance of punting a squirrel into bloody giblets. That makes Baldur's Gate 3 so impressive.
And your mind is gone. The rest, perhaps, is.
Next up, we have the indie darling Cocoon. Developer Geometric Interactive has made a big splash with its debut game Cocoon, as this intricate blend of puzzles and riddles pulls at your grey matter with captivating content. Not just a fun collection of brain teasers, Cocoon combines fantastic sound design and art with some of the tightest level design around to deliver a subtle but brilliantly told story.
A page of text written with a typewriter. Someone's been watching us.
Simply put, Alan Wake 2 is Remedy Entertainment's greatest game yet. No small feat for a developer which has produced all-time classics like Max Payne, Control, and the original Alan Wake. But this sequel builds on those successes to create a masterpiece of scares and storytelling.
Why are we written into the story?
A killer combo of dual campaigns that complement one another, fan-pleasing story beats, and a fusion of multimedia ideas that propel the series headlong into survival thriller territory. Now guys, Alan Wake 2 is an illuminating experience for the ages.
Yep, that's me. And you're probably wondering how I ended up here. Well, it's pretty standard.
Next up, we have Hi-Fi Rush, one of the biggest surprises of the year. Hi-Fi Rush is Devil May Cry meets Guitar Hero. The game is a constant rush of rhythm-based action that feels just right and sublime when you nail the notes, and has a Saturday morning cartoon energy to its design and a likable cast of characters anchoring all the fun.
That's the defect!
On top of all of that, the game has infectiously brilliant original and licensed soundtracks, creating an awesome mix that's a must play on Xbox and PC.
Just so you know, they're insane.
I'm here, baby.
I'm going to hold the enemy here while you make your escape.
Next on the list, we have Final Fantasy XVI, a sequel in name only. Final Fantasy XVI continues the franchise's rich tradition of reinvention, delivering an action-packed saga for the ages, backed up by excellent voice acting, a rousing score, and one of the best pooches in recent memory.
Revenge is a weapon.
FF16 goes all in on its premise to create a game that is awe-inspiring with its Godzilla-sized boss fights and surprisingly mature with its emotional rollercoaster of a story.
Temperance, child.
I'm taking delivery, preparing some entertainment for you.
Next up is Capcom's classic Resident Evil 4. The original game has a permanent seat on any list counting down the greatest of all time, but it might have to give up its spot to a stunning remake that doubles down on survival action aspects of its predecessor and masterfully rebuilds the experience into a genre-defining adventure.
Major Krauser? Why?
You can't save her. You can't save anyone.
Both respectful of its past and brimming with new and well executed ideas, RE4 doesn't get better than this.
Ahead!
You're kidding.
What have you got, Isaac?
Half the Ishimura's in the red. Engines, hull, the trams.
Can you handle it alone?
Fix the centrifuge. Get the fuel running.
The original Dead Space still holds up as one of the best sci-fi horror games of all time, and EA's Motive Studio could have easily slapped on a new coat of 4K paint and called it a day. Going above and beyond, Motive's comprehensive remake doesn't just retain the Edge of Your Seat terror of 2008's horror genre savior, it builds on it with thoughtful upgrades, a constant sense of dread that keeps you on your toes, and gnarly graphics that'll make you want to keep a bucket nearby. Next up is Sea of Stars. Now guys, the video game market is awash with RPGs designed to appeal to the nostalgic part of your brain, but Sea of Stars is more than just a fantasy adventure that looks like it belongs on the Super Nintendo or the Sega Genesis. Now, beyond those 16-bit influences, Sea of Stars is a surprisingly modern game and heart that puts a fresh spin on evergreen gameplay mechanics, engaging combat, and beautiful pixel-based art direction combined to create a charming time capsule. Hadouken! Now guys, Street Fighter 6 is up next. Now compared to its predecessor, which needed a lot of post-launch work to get into fighting shape, Street Fighter 6 came out swinging when it entered the 2023 ring. Now, arguably the most influential brand in the fighting game genre, Street Fighter, is a masterpiece of tight combat mechanics, luxurious visuals, and a thriving multiplayer scene.
Ready? Then show me.
This will be a good fight.
More than that, the game is an incredibly approachable brawler thanks to its detailed tutorials and modern control schemes that encourage players to learn its various intricacies. And when you've got a game that encourages more people to play, everybody wins, right?
This is our destiny.
My secret art!
Street Fighter 6.
I know you're ready. You've got this.
Next up, we have Forza Motorsport. Now, guys, it's been years, man. It's been years since Xbox gamers last got behind the wheel of a Forza Motorsport game. But the wait is finally over, and the wait, I have to say, was worth it. A technical tour de force of precision and visual splendor, Forza Motorsport is a platform for racing excellence that feels utterly sublime.
That was your best lap yet.
It has a terrific layer of approachability, a solid roadmap for the months ahead as more vehicles and tracks are added to the game, and a garage full of thoughtful changes to its high speed formula that makes the game constantly rewarding. Next up is Nintendo's masterpiece, The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Now, guys, any Zelda game following in the footsteps of 2017's Breath of the Wild has its work cut out for it, right? But Tears of the Kingdom took a successful formula and remixed it in a way that can only be described as revolutionary. It's a game with a familiar Zelda formula at its core, but turbocharged with new ideas and a spark of creativity that elevates it above its predecessor. A game about equivalent exchange, this grand adventure in Hyrule rewards your effort with a constant sense of wonder, beckoning you to explore its serene landscape with a toy box full of novel tools at your disposal. Next up, guys, we have Lies of P. Will we ever get a Bloodborne sequel or an improved version of the original From Software game? Only Sony knows, I guess. But for now, Lies of P is a stunning alternative when all flights to Yharnam are cancelled. Undeniably influenced by the iconic Soulsborne, Lies of P is a very loose retelling of the adventures of Pinocchio that is grimly gorgeous to look at thanks to the stunning Belle Epoque infused art direction. While Bloodborne is a clear inspiration, Lies of P avoids being derivative by adding a weapon system that rewards experimentation, aggressive enemies that you'll need flexible tactics to overcome, and a sublime world to explore. Next up, guys, we have Super Mario RPG. It's a me, Mario! Another great remake for the 2023 history books. Super Mario RPG lives again in a package that rebuilds the beloved turn based RPG from the ground up. While the presentation is brand new, the foundations of this classic Squaresoft Super Nintendo game remain firmly in place. Several small quality of life adjustments have been made, but for anyone who missed out on the game when it was first released in 1996, now is the time to jump in and play a refreshingly lean RPG that is full of heart, charm, and wonder. Next up, guys, we have Armored Core 6 Fires of Rubicon. Now, From Software's return to the world of Armored Core 6 is a welcome dive into thrilling mech combat that has been influenced by the studio's work on its grim fantasy adventures over the years. While it's not Elden Ring with mechs, Armored Core 6 has still inherited that sense of challenge and aggression from its younger franchise siblings. It's a treat for the eyes, and the comprehensive mech customization aspects allow for a diverse range of playstyles in this beautifully realized revival of a classic franchise.
As long as I've known you, you've dreamed of leaving things young.
Is it so wrong to want some excitement?
Next up, we have Mortal Kombat 1. Now, for anyone looking for a more vicious slice of fisticuffs this year, Mortal Kombat 1 is more than up to the challenge of sating your bloodlust. While it's not as feature packed as the previous game, Mortal Kombat 11, the latest from NetherRealm is a kind of restart for the series that goes back to basics.
Woefully unprepared, Earthrealmer. This will be your last battlefield.
Fun new mechanics and an unpredictable storyline paved the way for an interesting new direction in the Mortal Kombat multiverse. Fatalities are wonderfully ridiculous with the amount of crimson that you can spill, and the game is loaded with Easter eggs that celebrate 30 years of the franchise.
2 Johnnies, 1 timeline. Man, this has mega hit written all over it.
Okay. Yeah. Let's go.
Next up, guys, we have Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty. Now, Phantom Liberty brings a sense of finality to Cyberpunk, a game that has had a long redemption arc play out in the years since it was first released in a less than optimal state. With this expansion, Cyberpunk 2077 goes out with a bang as developer CD Projekt Red begins to push forward on its sequel.
I'm ready. Get this show on the road.
And the result is a captivating story within a tightly constructed spy thriller adventure. Now, Phantom Liberty, at its very best, is a complete overhaul of the original game that leaves a lasting impression by the time that the credits roll on its thrilling tale of espionage and violence.
Your actions are illegal.
Let me put it this way. No gun, no fun.
Next on the list, we have the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Are there any classic horror franchises that haven't dipped into the pool of asymmetrical multiplayer? Well, we're still waiting for that dedicated Nightmare on Elm Street game. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre is a thrilling example of thinking outside of the box and then cutting it to ribbons with a chainsaw.
What's coming to you now?
Now, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre uses a 4v3 setup, a format that works brilliantly to instill a sense of tension and dread in players looking to escape Leatherface and his family. Respectful to the source material and anchored by a rewarding gameplay loop, this game feels like a horror movie coming to life.
Yourself in some trouble, didn't you? If you just listen.
The order is gone. I was betrayed by the one I trusted most. I will not be imprisoned again.
Next up, we have Star Wars Jedi Survivor. Now, guys, Survivor builds on successes of its predecessor, Fallen Order, with greatly expanded gameplay and a story that adds to the Star Wars mythos, even if it takes place in an isolated pocket of the galaxy's outer rim.
A Jedi. Remind our friend here why his kind are supposed to be dead.
Lightsaber combat makes you feel like a seasoned Jedi Knight. The puzzles add a welcome diversion when you're not dealing with bounty hunters, and the scale is impressive when this sequel jumps to hyperspace action.
Cover the door. The beast could be anywhere. You have no idea.
Next up, we have Marvel Spider-Man 2. Insomniac's third outing doesn't offer much in the way of innovation, but there is plenty of refinement and improvement that makes Marvel Spider-Man 2 one of the best PS5 games of the year.
Spread out. If you find the lizard, don't engage alone.
Look at those fish. It's been feeding.
Packed with tweaks that improve the art of being Spider-Man, challenging new enemies, and a story that pulls no punches, the latest Spider-Man adventure is hard to put down, riveting to experience and a blast to play. Marvel Spider-Man 2 is the definitive reimagining of comic books' greatest superhero.
I got you. Time to go boom, boys!
Oh, no! Spider-Man has got defenses! Spider-Man, hang on!
That
Goomba looks so serene. Will they?
Last but not least, we have Super Mario Bros. Wonder. Now, guys, Super Mario Wonder lives up to its title with a sense of whimsy and colorful chaos that'll put a smile on your face and a song in your heart. Sure, it's a typical 2D Super Mario formula at first glance, but once Wonder Seeds enter the equation, this Mario title subverts expectations and reinvents its gameplay. With unpredictable and exciting twists, more than just a familiar game, with bite sized moments of fresh ideas, Super Mario Bros. Wonder sprinkles a ton of visual treats into the mix and caps it all off with modernized multiplayer to create the definitive 2D Mario game of the Switch era. Now, those were my favorite games of 2023. What are yours? Please let me know down in the comments below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. I'll see you next time. Happy gaming, everyone.